All right, hi JC fam. It is Monday morning and we are starting a brand new week, another crazy week, and I hope you're with us online yesterday morning as we were in the book of Hebrews in chapter 13. This morning, a brand new start, and I wanted to start off and just read something off of Facebook. It's actually something yesterday my wife put on Facebook. And Colleen posted this, and I thought it was great. I wanted to read it to you. She said, "The last few weeks, I've seen family pics around the dinner table. I've seen moms and dads playing games with their kiddos. I've seen people sitting on their front porch swings, watching the world go by. I've seen posts of families worshiping God around their computer screens. When all this is said and done, let's remember what is truly important. The enemy has led us all to believe that being busy is necessary. It is not. Cherishing those around us is truly the gift God has given us." And I like that, and I hope that you're spending time with your family, and when this is all said and done, that we don't forget all the good times we've had. When I drive along, I have seen people on their porches and kids out in the yard playing, and it's a little different, and I like it. All right, our Matthew study. Going through the Gospels, we are reading a chapter a day. In the last 3 days, we have read Matthew 9, 10, and 11 on Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. And in Matthew 9, there were some things. Jesus was healing people. He healed the 2 blind men. He healed the paralytic man. In chapter 9, we have Jesus calling Levi, who is the author, the human author of this book, Matthew, of course. And then at the end of chapter 9, Jesus says that the harvest of people is plentiful, the harvest of souls, but the laborers are few. And then he immediately goes into chapter 10 of sending out the 12 disciples, or the 12 apostles. At the beginning of chapter 11, which was yesterday's reading, Jesus referred to John the Baptist and talked to him and about John, who was the forerunner of Christ. We saw John back in chapter 3, John the Baptist baptizing Jesus in his identification with sinners. And then if you'd like to see and read about John's birth, his miraculous birth, you can go to Luke 1 and read the entirety of the chapter. It talks about John the Baptist's birth. But I really wanted to focus in at the end of chapter 11. In Jesus' words, he says in verse 28, 29, and 30, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." In verse number 28, I want to kind of walk through this a little bit. We have the word rest. I will give you rest, and he will explain that in another verse or two. But Jesus says, I will give you rest. And the way we get that is at the beginning of verse number 28 is to go to him. He said, "Come to me." By the way, he said specifically, come to him. We go to him directly and personally. It's not a matter of gathering all your thoughts together, making sure you got all your ducks in a row, making sure you have enough money in the bank, making sure you're depending on people or even your spouse. All those things, none of those things are bad. All those things are good. But specifically where rest really comes from is if we go directly to him. So notice that Jesus said, "Come to me, come here." And then he says, who needs to go to him? He says, all who labor and are heavy laden. All who labor and are heavy laden, come to me, I'll give you rest. Labor are those who are working hard. Heavy laden are those who have burdens placed upon them. There's 2 aspects of this. One is for the soul that is lost without Christ, you can go to him and he will give you rest. But I think it also applies to us as believers, that we can go to him and he gives us rest in our everyday walk. Those who labor, those who are walking through life and laboring, and you're working on your own apart from him. Those who are heavy laden, you've put things on you, you've let people put things on you, tasks that you need to do. jobs that you need to do, things that require you to work hard to gain satisfaction. And if you can just get through this, you can have rest. Jesus said, come to me, all you who are working hard for you to figure it out, come to me and I will give you rest. In verse 29, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. He will work alongside us, if you will. Farmers would take 2 oxen and put them in the yoke, of course, to pull together. Often they would take the young, inexperienced, weak oxen and would put it next to one that is more mature and stronger. And so they would guide them and lead them and essentially say, follow me. And the young one would have a tendency, they want to pull this way and that. And the older and stronger, more experienced oxen would pull this way, and they would pull together, and he would teach them about that yoke. And Jesus is saying the same thing. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I will guide you. And then he says at the end of verse number 29, and you will find rest for your souls. Come to me, you will find rest. At the end of verse number 29, he describes that you'll find rest for your souls, which is different than I worked hard all day and I need to go to sleep. It is the rest for inside. And that's really what we're looking for, is I want peace. I want rest. And I want to feel good about this, and that, Lord, you have me. What kind of rest is it? It's like a Friday night. And what I mean by that is, if you have a 3-day weekend you're looking at, and I love those, where you're looking at a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Monday's a holiday, when you go to bed on Friday night, you just are kind of grinning a little bit, and you're just kind of happy about that, because I mean, for the next 3 days, you're not doing anything, and I don't have to go back to work till Tuesday. And that rest on Friday night is just, it feels good. I'm okay on the inside. And that's what Jesus wants for us. All right, keep reading. Today is Monday, Matthew chapter 12. And then keep praying for each other. I'm praying for you. And then today is Monday, a brand new week. We're fine. We're making it. And He still got us.